Okay, here we go. Lesson 8-1, polynomials and adding and subtracting polynomials. We are down to this lesson and one more, and then we are done for the year. So the first thing you're going to have to be able to do is identify polynomials. Okay, we've already talked about monomials. Okay, that's what we've been working with this whole time, and that's when they have one term. Okay, such as 2. 13xy squared, 1/2 xyz. Okay, so now we need to add in binomials and trinomials. So basically a binomial is just the sum of two monomials. Oh, that's really messy, sorry. So for example, 13xy squared plus 2. 3x minus 4y. Now, I did say sum, however, I put a difference here because technically, if you wanted to, you could change that to be 3x plus a negative. All right, so binomial, two monomials. You could have 5x squared plus 2x. All right, so trinomial would be the sum of 3, hence tri, 3 monomials. So now you'd have an x plus y plus z. You might have 2x squared plus y plus 5z. Okay, you could have 5x minus 3y plus z. Okay, so 3 terms. So basically monomial 1 term, binomial 2 terms, trinomial 3 terms. Otherwise, it's just basically like the big umbrella term is polynomial. All right, so which is it? Can you identify? So for example, if you have this 6 minus 4x, what would you identify that as? Should say binomial. Okay. What if you have this? X to the 5th over x to the 2nd. Now, remember, we didn't say anything about dividing. Okay, however, if you simplify this down, this comes down to x to the 3rd. So now your answer would be monomial. Okay, so you always simplify. All right, so what about this one? 26x plus 3y plus 4x minus 5y. Any idea what this one would be? Now this one should be a binomial because again, simplify, or in this case, combine like terms, like when we did when we were back in solving equations. So 30x minus 2y, that's now only 2 terms, so it's a binomial. All right, so what about this one? 4d plus 19e all over f. Any thoughts on this one? This one is not a polynomial. Okay, the top is a binomial, the bottom is a monomial, but together it's basically a division problem. So it's not like a monomial. It would be more of an operation. Okay, so you just need to know monomial, binomial, trinomial, big picture, polynomial. Okay? All right, so now to add and subtract, you need to remember, okay? So to add and subtract, you need to think about like when we solved equations. Okay, so think back. If you were solving an equation and this was the one side of your equation, Remember, we combined like terms, negative x plus 5, and then we'd keep solving. So keep that in your mind because that's basically how adding and subtracting works. So here's what the problems will look like. 3x squared minus 4x plus 8 plus negative 7x squared plus 2x minus 5. Now I'm going to show you two methods, and then I'm going to tell you which one I prefer. So the vertical or the stack method. Okay, this is kind of like back to like how you would have done in elementary. You would have stacked the problems. 3x squared minus 4x plus 8 plus negative 7x squared plus 2x minus 5. And then you would have done the math. You would have had them stacked. 8 plus negative 5 is a positive 3. Negative 4 plus 2, negative 2x. Negative 4x squared. Okay, so that's one option, is the stacked method. The other option is grouping. And I personally think grouping is the easier option. Okay, so let me write the problem again. I'm going to have to try to write kind of small. It's just kind of hard with the stylus. All right, so grouping. You basically, like it says, group 3x plus negative 7, negative 4x squared. Negative 4 plus 2, negative 2x. 8 plus negative 5 plus 3. Now, what I need you to remember is they have to match, like squared goes with squared, x goes with x. And if you notice the order, look at the order. It's in descending order from like x squared to the x to no x. And you should attempt to put them in descending order if possible, like from the greatest exponent down. All right, so let's try another one. Ready? 5x squared minus 3x plus 4 plus 6x minus 3x squared minus 3. Okay, so we're going to do the grouping method. Now, one thing hopefully you noticed is the second parenthesis was out of order. Okay, you can leave it out of order, just be super careful, or it might help to put it in order so that everything is matching up. Okay, so now 5x squared plus negative 3x, 2x squared, negative 3x plus 6x, positive 3x, 4 minus 3, positive 1. In order, squared, just to the first power, and none. Okay, and if you notice these, if you do the grouping method, there's very little work. So some of you will be, all right, should be very happy about that. So let's try number 3. Okay, let's try a subtracting one. 3n squared plus 2n plus 7 minus 2n squared minus 4n plus 10. All right, so here we go. Now you got to be careful with the minus. 3n squared minus 2n squared, n squared. Let me go to blue, sorry. 2n minus negative 4. So 2n minus a negative 4n, be careful because that's going to be a positive 6n. 7 minus 10, negative 3. So with the negatives, you really got to watch your signs. And again, look at the order. Exponent of 2, exponent of 1, and no exponent. Okay? All right. So let's look at this one. Negative 4y cubed minus y plus 10 minus 4y cubed plus 3y squared minus 7. All right, now something you should have noticed on this one is, okay, The first parenthesis has a cubed, and then it jumps to just a y. The second parenthesis has a cubed, a squared, but no y. Now, option 1, you could possibly add in the missing link. So, negative 4y cubed plus, I'm going to just put 0y squared, put in that placeholder. And then in the second one, 4y cubed plus 3y squared plus 0y minus 7. So I just put in those placeholders. Now, again, you don't need the placeholders, but you need to be really careful because negative 4y cubed minus 4y cubed, negative 8y cubed, 0y squared minus 3y squared is negative 3y squared. Negative y minus nothing is just a negative y. And then positive 10 minus a negative 7, positive 17. Okay? And again, look at your order. 3 cubed power, squared power, 1 power, no power, because there's no exponent there. Okay? So again, it's in descending order. All right, so let me have you, no, hold on a second. Let me have you try this one. Okay. Ready? 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2 plus 2x squared minus x plus 1 plus x cubed minus 2. All right, if you would hit pause on this one, and then if you would try it, all I did was put in 3 parentheses. All right, so here we go. Let's start with the highest exponent, which is the cubed. So 2x cubed, nothing, x cubed, so you would have 3x cubed. Squared, negative 3, positive 2, nothing, so negative x squared. Next, there is not an x in the first parenthesis, but there's a minus x in the second, and then none. It's got to be accounted for. And then last, my numbers, 2 plus 1 minus 2. Okay, so a lot of this work does definitely happen in your head. All right, 2 more, and I think we'll probably be done. Ready? 3x to the 4th minus 7y squared minus 2z minus 2x to the 4th plus y squared minus z plus x to the 4th minus y squared minus z. Okay, so now it's a little different because I've got an x, a y, a z. All right, same thing, like terms, x to the 4th, x to the 4th, x to the 4th. Now you do the math. 3 minus 2 plus 1, so you end up with 2x to the 4th. Next, negative 7y squared minus y squared plus a negative y squared, so negative 7 minus 1 minus another 1, negative 9y squared. And then the z's, negative, now be careful on this one, because the z, negative 2 minus negative 1 plus negative 1. All right, so you have negative 2 plus 1 plus negative 1, negative 2z. And you just gotta really watch the signs. You just gotta make sure you've got your signs accounted for. Okay, make sure your order is good. All right, let's just try one last one. All right, ready? Let's go. 5x cubed minus 2x plus 3x squared minus 2x squared minus 5x cubed minus 10 plus 3x cubed minus 5x. Okay, now I ran out of room, so that's as long as I can make the problem. All right, so let's start with our highest exponent. Okay, if you want to add the placeholders, if you want to get them in order, fine. Or you can just start and go 5x cubed minus negative 5x cubed plus 3x. So if you need to do this, 5 minus negative 5 plus 3. So 5 plus 5 plus 3, 13x cubed. Go to the squared. Okay, no squared. So it's just 3 minus 2, so positive x squared. Go to your x's. Negative 2 minus 5, negative 7x. And then be careful with this one because there's not a number in the first, so 0 minus the negative 10 would actually make it a positive 10, and that would be your final answer. Now, today you don't have any practice problems. Tomorrow you will have an assignment over adding and subtracting. Enjoy your night.